I started recording. All right, looks like we're recording. Cool. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go over comparing multiple offers inside of Command. And again, this is a really short class. This should be probably about 30 minutes or even less. But this is a really cool feature inside of Command that probably doesn't get used quite often. But right now, I figured in the market that we're in, for those of you who have a listing and are receiving, I've heard some of our agents getting 30 offers on a property. Is anyone in that situation right now have a listing to where it's just absolutely insane? Are all of you here because you have a potential future listing, I hope?
I do, yes.
Cool.
And I am kind of worried and a little bit overwhelmed in that anticipation.
Oh, it's such a good thing though.
And so definitely need to know ahead of time how I'm going to handle it.
Yeah. And what's funny is that, like, if you talk to a lot of agents, I don't know that anyone's done this the exact same way. So you may hear of other systems or some other things that agents have done to kind of stay organized. Definitely reach out to your ALC in your market center. They'd be a great place to start to have that conversation. But I'm going to show you Command and the tool that we have that I think is pretty cool. But you might get some other interesting perspectives here. So hopefully we're all good on creating an opportunity. I'm going to skip through that process today. I really want to dive into just the comparison part inside of that tool versus like the nitty gritty of creating one. But I'm going to go ahead and just do that really quickly. I'm going to create an opportunity, create a listing specifically. And yeah, let's do this. Can grab a client. We'll just make this my son. Nothing like a 6-year-old purchasing a property. All right. Put our list price.
Passwords and all the kids. I was like, yeah, that password's that kid, you know, and then
yeah, if you have more kids, so you have more password options. Yeah. All right. And then I put my commission here for 3%. Basically, y'all should know how to do this. I'm going to skip the nitty gritty of like the details and some of the things that we're in. But I think it's really, really important that when you're on the screen, we've had this issue come up a good bit here in the last couple of weeks. Just make sure that you are putting in the property information here. And you can either edit the property on this spot inside of Command underneath details, or you can click the select from listings button, which is also really, really nice. If you're going this path with select from listings, this should normally show your listings that are active. There are some cases that you have active listings and you'll still get a blank screen right here. If that happens, don't panic. All you have to do is change this from only my listings to all, and then you can just search for the property. So I'm going to just search for something really random, like 450 2nd Street. It would not be at End Street, 2nd Street. Hit search. And there's one here in Shannon, Georgia. So I'm just going to grab that one.
Hey, Sam, I don't know if it's the same for everybody else, but I only see your pointer on create opportunity.
Dadgum, that was what I was afraid of. Okay. All right. Zoom gives me troubles here. Let me see if we can reshare.
I thought it was just me, like, he's talking it through before it's happening, but thanks for
no, I try to create an opportunity. Do you see my opportunity now?
Black screen.
All right.
Well, it says you've started screen sharing, so it just may not have come through yet.
Okay. I will, I'll let that stall for a second here. But basically what I was trying to get to is that when you create an opportunity, what we're looking to accomplish is go ahead and get that set up. But there are two places that you can input the address. For those of you who are familiar with the screen that I'm trying to share, it's the property spot inside of details, or there's a spot where you can add a listing. And am I still on the black screen of Zoom Death?
You are.
All right, let me stop this one more time. I don't know what it is, but Zoom.
You must be so frustrated, Sam. You've had trouble with Zoom all week.
I've even gone as far as uninstalling it, and
wow.
We're still here. How about now?
Just says started screen.
No.
Share.
Right.
Sam, I've had to do it on my primary screen the last week. It's been
Yeah.
on and off. Which you know that about some of the things.
You're having the issue too? Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right.
Oh, Ron, I see that you're outside. Isn't it beautiful out?
I am outside and the puppy's playing with the neighbors. So the neighbor's kids. So
They're not barking.
that's right.
All right, here's my next attempt.
That's it. That's it, Sam.
We're
That's
up. Excellent. All right, we're not gonna mess with it then. All right. If for some reason my audio does not match my visual and I look like the old Godzilla movie, let me know. If you hear me talking about something and my mouse is not there, please point it out. I'll try and stop again. It's not just KW that has tech problems, apparently. All right. What I was hoping to point out is I've created a brand new opportunity. This is just a listing with my son. And there's a spot here when you don't have an address. Let me just go ahead and remove this. You have an option here that says select from listings. So this is a really great place that where like we have to put this information in. It's easiest to do it from here. So you hit select from listings. This will pull over a window. And what I was trying to demonstrate, let me kind of back all the way out. Normally you see this screen pop up first, and it should show your listings. If you have an active listing on the screen, you should see the address. You should see a little card that says, this is your FML listing, you know, yada, yada. If by chance you have an active listing and your screen looks like mine, sometimes you will have to change it from only my listings to all and just search for the property. It's not really a bug. This is just kind of one of the systems that KW is still working on. They released it before it was 100%, but there's just a different flow that you have to go and just search for your property. So I'm gonna just type in 450 2nd Street as if that were my listing, hit search, and then you'd see that your listing would come up. And just for the sake of this example, I'm gonna grab the one that's relevant because it's in Georgia and hit select here. And if you're sending me chats, that's not something I follow quite extensively. So feel free to take yourself off mute if you have questions. Go ahead and shout them out because it may be relevant to everybody. So I have a property address here now, and I should be good to go. This should help me move through this process a little bit smoother. But the part that we're going to focus on today is comparing multiple offers inside of Command. So I'm going to jump straight to just the offers and commissions tab. Now, mind you, you do have to do the compliance part with documents. You definitely want to do that information. But for today's session, just to keep it short and sweet, we're going to focus on offers and commissions. And this is ultimately the place to where you have to submit your new green sheet to get paid. But this is the tool that I think gets slept on quite a bit because this is a way that we can compare several offers and a really cool document that you can send over to your clients. I'm going to show you what that tool looks like at a volume too. I went ahead and I created an opportunity with 10 plus offers so you guys can see what that looks like in real life. But basically what you're going to do is click on add a new offer. And if you are anticipating being in a multiple offer situation, I would get really strategic on how you're going to name these. I would probably do something like offer 1 or offer A. That way there, it's a little bit easier and you're not putting names and things like that in. We just want to have a nice clean comparison. This is offer A, hit create offer. And then we're going to fill out the details as best as we can. So I'm going to put something in like the offer date. So this is the day we got the offer. Let's just say it happened today. And I'm going to put a projected close date in. So let's say that offer A, or my first offer, is going to close on May 3rd. Go through the details, click parties, and forgive me for just doing this kind of easily and quickly today. You'd want to put the client's information in here just for the sake of it in comparison. I'm going to put client A. That way there we can kind of take a look at the information. It looks all nice and clean. But this would be client A. If you have their information, put it in. This is going to be a really cool feature here. If you know that the buyer on the other end is pre-approved or pre-qualified, go ahead and check this box. And then associate's name, this would be the co-broke agent on the other side. So this would be agent A or Mignon Hooper, and hit terms. So this is no different than like when you normally create an offer, but this is going to be kind of clutch that you're pretty thorough with this when I know that we're probably not always, when we're only putting in the one that we're going to accept. But let's just go ahead and say that maybe we're listing a $500,000 house. Let's just do 250 cash, 250 finance. Let's say that we're going to put 1% down. This person's going to do a 7-day due diligence and no seller's assist, no service contract. And then we have this spot here next for agent analysis. And I think that when you're comparing multiple offers, this is going to be really, really handy to share with your clients. So some of the pros that we may like is that this is at asking price, flexible closing date, And maybe also the buyer offered a lease back up to 4 months. Cons, right at asking. Expecting multiple offers. Geez, if I could spell, sorry. And then what you may want to do is just give yourself a quick little summary. And now just a word of caution, like, again, I'm going to be kind of cavalier with the way I typed through this today. I would put your pros and cons as well as your summary in here and just assume that you're getting audited. I wouldn't say anything inappropriate in here, and anything you wouldn't publicly share as if it were going on Facebook and your license was at stake. So my summary would be, hey, first offer, congrats, expecting more, maybe a good one. I'm gonna go ahead and just fix up my typos and hit save. So now I have offer 1 in. And if you're receiving multiple offers, or if you have an offer period in which you're accepting offers for, let's just say 7 days, what you may want to do is just go ahead and stack all of these up as you get them, or compile them and put them all in at once. But then I'm just gonna go ahead and click and add my second offer. And again, just to keep things consistent, I would highly recommend here, just be kind of vanilla with it. This would just be offer B. If my first one was offer A, this one will be offer B. Hit create. And again, just going through the details, offer date, close date. I'm gonna go through that same thing. They're gonna close on May 7th. Parties. And I'm just gonna do these 2. I'm gonna show you what it looks like when you compare a lot. Pre-approved, pre-qualified, associate's name, agent B. And let's just say this one's maybe a lowball offer. So this one's going to come in at 250. Oops. And let's just do 245 finance. Earnest money, 1,000 down. And they want a 10-day due diligence. So here, by comparison, we can say, you know, slightly lower. And asking. Cons, actually, that probably should be a con.
Wasn't it pro? Yeah, I was just like, wait, what?
No, we don't want that.
No, definitely that's not a pro.
Yeah. Longer due diligence. But maybe a pro for this case scenario, because again, you're going to get a little bit more information than what I'm just kind of making up here on the fly. Would be, sorry, there's a lot of people coming in from Zoom still. No contingencies. Can bring cash for appraisal issues. And again, just your quick synopsis, just a quick summary of, you know, offer 2, decent offer. But there is still more coming. Hit save. And what's really cool is that, again, I'm not going to go through and create 10 of these. I'll show you what that looks like for an opportunity that does have 10 in here. But ideally, this gives you a really quick rundown of what an offer looks like that you can send to your clients. Now, normally, I would say that we're putting in just the one that we want to accept that we're going to get paid on. But this is the cool tool that you can share with your clients just to kind of manage this overwhelming multiple offer situation. So once you have more inside of Command underneath commissions, you have the ability to hit this select all button. And then there is a compare offers spot over here on the right. So what's really cool is it takes this side-by-side view, breaks it down into a document that you can easily email to your clients right from Command. And I love this approach because it gives you something side-by-side that we can see and feel pretty cleanly that, all right, this is pretty clear that, all right, offer B came in $5,000 less. This is how much cash they're bringing. This is, you know, what they're going to finance. This is a little bit more attractive too, that they brought more for earnest money, due diligence is side by side. And it makes it really visually easy to compare these offers for your clients. For you, it may seem like work. There's no easy way to do this. I've seen a lot of agents do it, essentially this in Excel, but Excel doesn't give you this really nice, clean view of it. And what's really cool too, is that like your pros, your cons, and your summary is built right in here too, so they can kind of read from one to the next. Now, what's really cool is you have some options on this as well. You can download this file. So I hit the download button, and hopefully I don't break Zoom here. This turns into a flat PDF that I can just save to my computer and then manually send it to my clients if I want to. So I can just say, hey, here's your 2 offers side by side. Let me know if you have any questions, or call me whenever you receive this so that we can start comparing them and answer any questions you may have. So option 1 is you can just download this side-by-side view, or you can hit the email offer comparison button right here. And you can actually send this out to your client in or from command. Normally this would automatically put their email address in. I did not put my son's email in here, but let's just say it's james@gmail.com. And it's going to put in the subject title. You have 2 offers, and you can also have this option to send a copy to yourself. So you may just want to, like, one bit of advice here is if you're going to send this email message through command, I would probably put a little bit more information here in the body of the email that would say, like, call me when you get the chance to look this over. And then I can send the offer. It's going to go out to my client. Any questions on this so far? Is this cool? Yeah.
Is this what you would use more when you have a deadline that everyone needs to have things submitted in by a certain date? Because otherwise, wouldn't these kind of come in sporadically throughout the week, and they all have like a deadline associated with each offer that they would like a response?
Yeah, and that's so I think both work, but I think if you use the system of like offer A, B, C, you can send this multiple times. So I've sent this to my client once. If I were to add a 3rd offer, it would just, again, send another email to them with all 3 offers side by side. So like you can keep building on this. You may send more than 1 email to your client if you do it that way. But I think either way, that gives them a really clean way to compare everything all at once. There's also a point where you may put all of them in, and you may only want to send 3 of the 10. So that becomes an option to where like you can just check the ones you want. I only have 2 here to pick from, but like you can just leave 1 unselected, and then you can do that compare offers feature. Let me jump to my room that has 10, but go ahead. Does someone have a comment?
Yeah, so Sam, I am wondering in this, and I might just be looking at it and overlooking it. Where do we see in there what they're like, if they're doing, all right, I have a listing and I get an offer, but that offer is only good until noon tomorrow. Is there a way to see on this comparison screen who is falling off because you continue to get bigger, better offers and you're not going to accept A, B, or E, for example?
Yeah, I mean, that would be that could be an option that you could put inside of your summary, could be your deadline.
Okay.
Or I can also just send these one at a time. I don't have to necessarily do that compare offer each time either. So if I wanted to send to my client, I can just send that to them.
So where would I put that in to be able to see it on this screen?
I'm sorry, tell me more.
I missed it.
To compare the offers? Are you saying that, or
I think
Well-
she means deadline.
the deadline?
So many, we get so many multiple offers that there are going to be some deadlines that may pass while other offers are still coming in. And maybe we weren't just blown away and the sellers weren't just blown away by an offer and we're just kind of letting it expire. So then where would I see? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm just creating a 3rd offer real quick.
Okay.
Offer C,
Thank you.
agent C. So what I'd recommend in that situation, and I'm glad you brought that up because that's not something that was even on my brain. Say it's 300. And
So Sam, can I just make a comment?
please.
I don't, and I probably shouldn't say this because I'm not the closing attorney, but just because you have a deadline on an offer does not mean if you don't respond that offer is off the table. In the state of Georgia, you have to put a time limit in there. Otherwise your offer stays on the table for a year. So when you're getting multiple offers, just because they've put a time limit on it Doesn't mean if your seller's still looking at other offers, or if you've listed it on Friday and your seller wants the house exposed to the market for the entire weekend, you can notify those parties, hey, you've got the time limit of this, but my seller is choosing not to respond. They'll be reviewing all offers on Monday. And it doesn't mean that offer has gone away.
Yeah, I think in one of the training sessions, I actually heard that when you're posting out there, it's like we're accepting offers for the week and we'll respond like perhaps on the following Monday. So all these are in, and then you can actually enter them in here, which is great. But at that time, there won't be any response or feedback until that particular moment. So actually like that idea, Marla.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, there are some agents out there that will pressure you as a listing agent. There are buyer's agents out there that will say, oh, well, my buyer has to know something by 12 o'clock tomorrow. They can't wait until Monday. And then maybe that's really not the person that you want to co-op with anyway.
Right, how do you respond to that, Marla, by the way?
Hey, it's a seller's market.
Yeah, and while I understand that, because obviously I've been on both sides of this, I have buyers that I've had to write 5-6 offers for that there is pressure when you have a client that has potential of being homeless, and they've lost many other offers and they're not getting their offers accepted. It does become stressful for the agent as well. However, if I'm representing a seller, I've got to do my due diligence and my best to get my seller the most amount of money. So therefore, they need at least 48 hours to be exposed to the market before I'm going to encourage them. Even if I've got an offer already that's 20,000 over, I don't want them to miss out on getting something that might be 50,000 over.
Yep.
This is Colleen. What I found was most helpful, and I would talk to my clients before I put the listing on. But if I knew this was going to be a hot listing and I was very good chance I was going to have multiple offers, I would put it in private comments. So let's say I listed on Thursday and I would say seller to review all offers by, Monday at, noon, something along those lines. And then your agents know. I find that I got a lot less phone calls if I did that. I got a lot less pushback if I did that because I've already set the expectations.
Yeah. You're creating the deadline essentially. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And this is a market.
Question about that.
Okay, Joe.
I got a question about that in real life. If you put that you're accepting offers to Sunday, but on Friday night or Saturday, you get 130,000 all cash, quick closing, and you want to accept it, it seems like you can't accept it without waiting till money. Am I right or wrong or overthinking this?
Well, Joe, I believe you're right, but I think to Marla's point too, that you could be doing a disservice to your client that if an offer comes in 50,000 over and you're leaving 20,000 on the table, that could put you in a weird spot. But legally, I believe you can, right?
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, this is a strange time. So I mean,
gotcha.
If you have a listing, things like buyer expiration dates on offers as well as escalation clauses, like those are weird games for a different market. Buyers should be bringing their highest and best, and like honestly, like I don't want to say that you get to make all the rules as a listing agent, but right now it seems like if a buyer really wants the property, there's not a whole lot they can do other than bring their best offer. But April, hopefully you saw that. I just kind of went inside the summary part and just said, hey, there's another spot where you can leave a note that says, buyer wants a deadline or, info by Friday, things like that.
Yeah, I did. Thank you so much, Sam.
And to the point for someone earlier about offers coming in throughout the week, again, I can just kind of select a couple of these. So like if I wanted to send offer A and C and leave out B, I can kind of cherry pick these if I want and just compare those two offers. So this could be another thing too, that like you may receive 15 offers. You don't want to give all of them to your client to review. I would probably encourage you to send 2 emails. I would send one that does show all of them just so that you do a little CYA, cover your assets, to make sure that you're not creating some type of trend that says like, hey, somehow you discriminated by not including that offer. I would send them all of them, but then I would say, hey, here's my short list. Here's the 2 or 3 that I think are probably the best to compare. There's some options that you can resend these emails. Now, let me jump to my opportunity that has 10 of them in here. Where did I put that?
Sam, with those offers and you're entering them, is there a part two where if a client, I'm sorry, if a buyer comes with the offer, but they also have a family bio that they want to include in the offer for the seller to review, can you attach that within that?
Oh, that is a great question. Let me double check that. At one point in time, I believe we did that. If I were to send this offer over, not at the moment. There was a time that when you drafted this email, you were also able to include an attachment, but it looks like that was creating some bugs, so they took that away. So what I'd recommend is you probably just want to go the path of downloading that document, that comparison, and then you can send it along with an email manually.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you got it. But let me go back. This is my active. So this one here now has 10 offers inside of it. And so whenever you look at your command or your dashboard, when you've gone through and put all of these in here, hello command. Here we go. Cool. So you'll see that these are in order from the way I put them in. So I have them numbered 1 through 10. I started with 1. So you can do this little comparison now with all of these offers. Hit select all, compare offers, and even with that many, I love this view. I think this is so easy to read and see kind of side by side. It's not as clunky as Excel. I love the visual component of this of, all right, here's all 10 of them side by side. And as a client, I might be looking at, above asking, things like that. And if by chance you do have that deadline that you might be working with, this is something that I may offer as well. Inside your summary, you may just want to number them like 10 of 10, 9 of 10, 8 of 10, just to kind of keep track of the summary notes as well. But again, it just depends on your situation, what you can get away with. But this is a cool way that you can set up your client. And I think that they're probably going to immediately look at sales price and go, okay, that one's low at 300. That one's low at 300. That one's low at 319. It looks like I'm probably just comparing the 2 350s at this point. So then if your client wants this information then, which is offer 10 and offer 6, I can just go back a screen and grab those two.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is it possible, so if you go in and you see all that and by the end of the week, or say the seller says, okay, can you just send me what you have for the last 3 days on Wednesday? But is there a way by perhaps on the Monday where you can go in and perhaps edit what you've done to have, okay, here's the top 3. So instead of you listed it from 1 to 10, say, okay, here's the top 3. So, and then go re-edit the name and have the top 3 in there, for an example.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like if you rename them, you might find yourself in like a disorganization part. So what I'd recommend then is that, like, if you're aware which 3 are your top 3, just grab those ones.
Okay.
So that'd be 10, 6, and I don't remember my other one, but let's just say it's number 5. I would just check those 3. And then you can send that email off again, compare offers. And then again, they're just named buyer 5, 6, and 10. But your top 3 are here.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And let's take a look at this. So I've already emailed this off to myself. So this is what it looks like whenever your client receives it. I can actually go back a screen to my inbox. So it says you have 10 offers. I'm going to click on it. It's branded to me. There's a compare offers button, which will take them to a screen. I'll show you that next. But even in the email, it just puts them in order of buyer 1, 2, all the way down to 10, which is pretty cool. And this is a nice thing too, that if maybe you have some clients that aren't necessarily big computer users, this prints off really well. This is something that prints off that you can kind of compare on paper really nicely. And then 2, if they go up here and click the compare offers button, as a consumer, it breaks. Not sure what happened there. All right, I will be putting in a ticket for that one.
Want me to go down?
See what happened there. Yikes. Okay, I'll take a look at that. But you as an agent, you also get that email too, so you can see what they receive. Let me see if it breaks on this end. All right. Not sure what's happening there. So maybe a word of caution, you may want to just be careful and just download this instead on top of that email. Again, you would just download it to your computer. And then you can send it off into attachment as to your client. So then they would open their file, open their email, and just see this. Cool. Any questions on today? Was this helpful?
Yes,
Pam,
thank you.
this is Colleen. This was awesome. So last year when I was at NOC, we had a very similar program, and I kind of fought it at first. But then I started getting multiple offers on multiple listings that I had. At one point, I had a listing that had 22 offers. And the offer that we accepted was 75,000 above list price. Of course, we knew that that would not appraise for that. It was kind of funny money. But the only thing that I would add to this is if anybody, wants a suggestion, is I might put financing type on there. Because to me as a listing agent and for my sellers, it's important for them to know, is this a conventional? Is this an FHA? Is this a VA? Because if there's some little things going on with the house, that's important. Let's say there's some peeling paint. Well, that's not going to pass an FHA.
Right. Yeah,
So-
that's a great point.
So those are things, and those are conversations I normally have with my sellers beforehand. But I think that I love it. I think it's awesome and I will absolutely use it. But I would love if they would have financing type on there.
Yeah. That's a great idea. I would say in the meantime, if that's not built out anytime soon, that's probably something I would probably just include inside your summary.
Yeah. No, I thought of that.
Yeah.
Just because if I have a conventional offer and then I have a VA, I might just tell my clients, and let's say it's apples to apples, everything else is the same. I might just tell my clients, hey, you know what, a conventional is probably going to just go a little bit easier.
Yeah.
And that could be the deciding factor.
Yeah. Great idea, Colleen. Appreciate that. Can y'all see my screen again? I tried sharing again. Okay, cool. So I want to take a point to kind of promote this website because I don't think it's very well known. But we are still building Command, and like we've made this promise from the very beginning that like our agents are building Command. So if you have ideas like the one that Colleen just shared, we have a website called ideas.kw.com where you can submit like feature requests or things that you would like to see added Command. So this is one that I definitely come in and take a look at. There's some really cool things too that you can kind of sort by like trending and popular, and you can kind of vote on them. As you can see, like there's some that I've voted on already because I'm logged in, but you just post an idea that says like add financing to financing type to offers.
Great.
So yeah, if there's any time that you want to see another cool feature inside of Command, I mean, I can go this far and do this for you, but the key thing is like, feel free to take advantage of this and vote on some stuff that you like. But yeah, share the ideas and it gets voted on. And what's really cool is like, they'll tell you in real time if this is something that's like being built already by Command, if they have that plan to do so.
And you said that's ideas with an S?
Ideas, yeah, plural. Yeah, ideas.kw.com. Yeah, and there's some really great ones that are already in here that if you like them, you just vote on them. Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for joining me today. If you have any questions about offers and comparing multiple offers inside Command, feel free to give me a shout. I'm going to get this this class downloaded, this recording today. I'm going to put it up on my YouTube channel. So if you need this guide in the future, you can find it on my channel, which is incommandwithsam.com. So if you need to just watch this again in a slower speed, feel free to. But thank you. I really appreciate you being here today.
Thank you.